This is my second game against my previous opponent. I have the black pieces now. I won with the white pieces, although a bit of a lucky win, but I did somehow get a win. And I'm playing with the black pieces. I knew he was going to play d4, and in particular the London opening. I'm just highlighted the most common moves of the opening. It's a very solid opening. It's hard to crack, but I've won in the past with the black pieces while he played the London. So I was quite confident. I had developed this system with g6, the modern. Of course, you played the most common London moves. I went with d6, and the intention of this setup is to put the knight on d7 to create the bash on e5 to kick his dark square bishop away. Previous game went like this. Yeah, this all happened, and he went to g5 to attack my queen, and I was really unsure how to really cover it. I didn't want to block him a bishop. I didn't want to block him a bishop with a knight either, or the other knight felt so unnatural, or knight here on e7 felt kind of passive, but I didn't know. So I've studied this line with bishop g5 for this game, but unfortunately he went for bishop h2, which is also what the course recommended. And this whole setup is what I learned on the Gotham course, actually. So yeah, I proceeded with the knight to e7 to try and push for f5, which is a thematic move for the modern, to create an attack on the white king. He played the most natural c3 move of London, finished development with some knight to d2, and already on move here, instead of knight to h6, when I played knight e7 instead of knight to h6, I was really wondering whether to play knight h6 or knight e7. Computers does bless knight e7, which is good, which is of course what I ended up playing. But right after I played knight e7, I remembered thinking, God, knight h6 was so much better. Why didn't I stop for a moment? Of course, knight e7 is perfectly fine, but I don't know. Right after I put the piece there and written down the move, I was so sure I had to go to h6. Of course, this is just fine. It's just some kind of anxiety, I believe. Not really the healthiest thing. After c3, I was already wondering whether it was a good idea to go e5, kick the knight away, and then, for example, let's just say the knight went to d2, and then just to block the center. I was really considering this move order. Weird. I thought the computer might not like it, but he does. He says it's perfectly fine. I decided not to go for it. The center felt way too locked. His bishop was feeling a lot better than mine, which is staring into granite. My dark square bishop really felt like there was not much he could do, you see. While both of his bishops were very active, also his knights were gonna, you see. Fine, very good squares. I did not like this position, and I decided not to go for it. Instead, I just castled and played f5, which computer hated for some reason. I'm not really sure why. He went knight g5, and I completed my rerouting of the knight to f6, which is also very thematic in the modern, to free up the bishop, the c8 bishop. I took back, and here I was just losing a pawn. That's why computer did not like knight to f6, of course, because after knight f6, the g7 bishop is no longer guarding e5, so I'm just losing this pawn. I guess I forgot that the bishop was attacking from so far away, or I missed that my bishop is no longer defending. Either way, it's a rather stupid blunder. It's something I really should try to avoid. Of course, he just took the pawn, naturally. It's what one does when he is offered a free pawn. I tried to argue that I had some initiative at some point of some sort. Another thing that I'd like to point out is I had a healthy time advantage. I had already 20 minutes here, and he had 12 and a half. Remember, we started with 30 minutes on the clock each. So I spent only 10 minutes. He spent, is my math okay? 17 and a half. So I was trying to convince myself that with the time advantage, with the piece activity, I don't know, my piece activity is not that much better than his. So yeah, I also thought he could go for this check before. I was kind of scared of this move, but he didn't. Yeah, the computer also suggests bishop c4 now. Of course, doesn't lose a piece, because if I block, he just trades. He just takes, and I cannot take this knight back because it is check. That did not happen. He backed off with a knight. I covered the check because I was scared of it, as I said. And he just decided to trade. You know, I went to this endgame saying, just, it's an endgame. You're up a pawn, beat me. Do what you want. See what you got. Let's see what you got. I was kind of scared. I was thinking, yeah, I've just lost this game. There's nothing I can do here. Of course, it's not a losing position by any means, but it's very unpleasant. His pieces are all very good, and these pawns are kind of over advanced, easy to attack. His pawns are very solid, and of course he's up a pawn. Again, my only advantage was being up on the clock so much time, which ended up paying. I went knight e to d5, trying to build this formation with the knights, which is known to be unbreakable. Fortunately, not much time. Not long after he broke it by taking this knight. I can't take with the bishop, which is what I'd like to do, because of course I'm losing this knight. So that was his idea, to make me block the bishop back again. He castled, and I went rook a to. Sorry, I'm just struggling to realize why it's pointed as a mistake. Whatever. He says just knight h4 is very good because it attacks this, and it's actually, yeah, it's very tough to guard. This is kind of ugly. Yeah, computer is suggesting knight h4 and king h7, and then yeah, knight e5, and it's very difficult to guard this pawn. So yeah, that's why the computer did not like this. He thought I should do something about this first. I didn't. He didn't see that, so it's fine. He instead went for the knight here to attack these pawns, and then he tragically blundered. Again, like the same game, like the previous game, I was down some material, a pawn in this case. If I'm not mistaken, was a pawn even in the other case, in the other game. And yeah, he was very low on the clock. He went for some tactical complications, kind of, when he took the knight here with the bishop to make me block it again. And then let's see, did you figure out what this is a blunder? It took me no time to figure this out. Yeah, not trying to brag. But of course, it's c5 because this knight is pinned. The rook is undefended, so if you move the knight, I'm gonna just take a free rook. And if you don't move the knight, I'm just gonna take it. Some reason I don't understand, he went like this. Does not address the threat at all. I can just take, and this is still hanging. So he just gave me a knight. Computer is suggesting, oh, knight c6, because then if I trade, he's got this, and he's attacking. Yeah, it's very tactical, very sharp. I didn't go for it. I didn't calculate it thoroughly. I just took this knight because I see a free knight. I took a free knight. He took on g6, which I did not really consider, but it's not a big of a deal. I'm still up a lot of material. I took because I wanted to simplify the position. Also, this pawn was very weak. I did not really see a way to guard it any further, so I just traded it, not to lose it. I attacked the rook with both the bishop and the knight. He went here to attack my b7 pawn. I guarded tactically because now he cannot take, because then I will take a free knight, and if he takes the knight first, I'm taking the rook and guarding b2. So that was, I was kind of proud of that move, not gonna lie. Then I went just rook d7 to guard the b7 pawn. And yeah, I thought I was just solid here. I thought, yeah, I'm just up a piece. These pawns are equal, so they just cancel each other out. I am down 2 pawns here, but I felt like this bishop was so strong, and he doesn't have a dusk with bishop, so I should be winning, and I am. I immediately took this chance to go with the rook on the second rank, because it's very good, and I'm attacking the knight, so I don't have to worry about losing b2, because of course I would just take a free knight. So yeah, I went here, and I'm attacking both the knight and the b2 pawn. I said b2 first, I'm b7. Maybe I've said b2 a couple of times. It's actually b7, of course. Yeah, my coordinates are not perfect. Yep. He put the knight here, and I was happy to trade. Computer is not happy that I traded, because this bishop is objectively very much stronger than this knight. But I was thinking, yeah, just let's simplify the position, and I can never lose this, right? I should not even draw this, but losing is out of the question. I went knight to a5, trying to attack the rook and defend the b7 pawn. But right after I played it, I was like, what am I really doing? Like, after knight f5, he just goes rook to b5, and I'm losing another pawn, and the computer also thinks it's a draw, because now it's way too many pawns. Yeah, after he takes, it is, what would he not take here? Rook c7. Oh, wicked. To cut my king off. Okay, whatever. He just took the pawn, of course, because it's the most natural thing, and now he's got a lot of pawns for just a knight on the, you know how they say, knight on the, well, it's dim, knight on the, whatever, knight on the A file and the H file are bad knights. They don't got many squares, and it's just not enough to justify him having 2 free passed pawns. Although I took the b2 pawns, which is very good, and I defended the 6th rank, and then he was very low on the clock. This position was, I want to say, easier for me to play, although not objectively one. But yeah, it is easier for me to play, for sure, because I'm just gonna take all the pawns. He was so low on the clock. I had like over 10 minutes. He had no more than 2 minutes, so he was just blitzing every move. That's what you have to do. And yeah, he just made blunders, and I think he lost on time. Maybe I didn't write this down, but I think I took here and he just lost on time here, because he was so low. So low on the clock, he couldn't get a chance to play another move, which is sad. Again, I played a bad mistake in the opening. I let him have a pawn for no reason. Yeah, I just gave him a pawn and good piece activity. This bishop is dominating my bishop. But then he went again for some tactical stuff here. And then I just traded everything, and I would say, yeah, let's have you beat me in this endgame. See what you got. So, and he unfortunately got along the time again and just blundered this simple tactic, which I didn't really fully exploit, because you can just take and have 2 knights instead of 1. But yeah, I didn't went for this tactical complication. It just took the knight and nearly blundered the game back into a draw here. You see, it's just a draw. There's too many pawns here. After rook b5, which is spotted, this was not an easy position to win. It's easier for me to win than it is for him to draw, if this makes sense. But it's still very tough. Yeah, the time got the better of him, and he just flagged here. So yeah, I'm 2-0 my tournament, and next match is gonna be against a very strong opponent. I've played him in the past several times. He's 1700. Wish me good luck. I'm gonna need it.